Hey guys, this is American Psychedelic back with another video. This one is titled, Oh, That's East. It's 14:20 and I managed to pull off a less than spectacular trip on a 25 milligrams of AMT. How did I manage to not enjoy myself on a drug whose claim to fame is it's guaranteed of a good time? I tried to control it and it taught me a lesson. Don't get me wrong, I didn't have a bad trip. I've experienced what I consider the worst kind of trip possible, on a 9-gram dose of morning glory. No, it was more like a flat-out bad day. Let me take you through my experience so that you don't make similar mistakes. Inspired by a few reports I read raving about the benefits of an early morning solo trip, I got it into my head yesterday that I would dose at 6 a.m. this morning. It's important to note that I have taken AMT twice before, and both times were at the same dosage. Both of those times I have done it with friends and had an excellent time. Last night I had a calculus test at 8 p.m. I'm a first-year college student. I was fatigued, and prior to the test I took a caffeine pill. I'm not a regular soda or coffee drinker, and that kind of dose was enough to keep me awake until 4 a.m. Being the stubborn, stupid kid I am, I decided against pulling off the AMT trip until later in the week because I figured the speedy effects of the AMT would counteract with my lack of sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m., hopped out of bed and drank down the small amount of powder in a glass of OJ. 30 minutes later, I was buzzing pretty hard and my eyes were dilated. Some people refer to the coming up on AMT as a roll-on X. But for me, it seems like the onset of X. I never got to the point of really rolling. I looked up on the web that the sunrise was at 7:10, and since I'm usually not up at that time, I decided to walk 1/4 mile or so to my car. It was really cold out and I wanted the heat, which was sitting out in the parking lot. This would give me a good view of the sunrise and an opportunity to smoke a cigarette, which I love to do on the substance. At 7:20, I was sitting in my car and noticed that it was pretty light outside already, but the sun was nowhere to be seen, and a couple seconds later something caught my eye in the rearview mirror. It was the sun. I've been looking out to the west and missed the sunrise. I truly am a dumbass. Well, that was depressing. I listened to some tunes out in the car and noticed that I felt pretty apathetical but depressed. I also began to feel nauseous at this point. I got back to my room at around 8 and watched some TV, making sure to keep myself hydrated, and then I listened to some music until around 11, and then the visual part of the trip kicked in. I had some blurred vision, noticed that the carpet would roll in waves if I watched it long enough, and had very, very mild through shroom-like closed eye visuals. Probably the most fun I had all day was looking out the window and letting the bright outdoors burn an image onto my eye. Then, by closing my eyes very tight and then releasing the tension, the colors of the after image changed. I don't know how to explain it, but it was extremely beautiful. I was also having periods of uncomfortable hot and cold sensations, and my teeth felt odd in my mouth, like they were extra sensitive. I started to feel very, very tired, something that never happens to me on AMT. I went against every bit of good judgment I possessed and took a caffeine pill. At 12:30, peaking, I decided that I was up for going to my only class of the day, which happened to be calculus. I got my exam back to discover that I received a good grade, which normally would have made my day, but I was indifferent to it. I walked home and spent the rest of my afternoon chatting with friends on the internet, uncomfortable, bored, nauseated, worn out, and spacey. Why am I writing this, you may ask? Well, I supervise a computer lab on Tuesday nights. That's right. I don't even consider how I would feel working 8 to a midnight shift completely cracked out from no sleep and coming down from AMT with a horrible jaw pain that just set in. Blah. Things I learned. Take AMT when I have 18 hours of free time open in my life. Take AMT with my friends. I shouldn't try to control the experience. If it's not the right time, it's not the right time.